Andrew Gerard back again with another retouch, a shot I did recently of model Jess. Although she is clothed in this, it appears as though she is not. This is what's called implied nude photography. And you'll notice here on the left side this kind of blurriness. This isn't a post effect. What I do is take my eyeglasses off, I get focus on her and hold the eyeglasses up in front of the lens to create this effect. So have a lot of fun if you want to play with that. Anyway, what I want to do is take this guy here, starting out from Lightroom after just a few Lightroom adjustments on contrast, and we'll kick it right into Photoshop. We'll start off by Command J, duplicating the layer. I'm going to turn that background layer off, and we're going to come up here. One of the things that I wanted to show you is in shooting skin like this, you want to kind of do an examination and have a look at things like moles, things like freckles that you might want to keep in the photo, which is really an amazing part of Retouch for me. Here, I know I didn't use a strong highlighter. You can see I just had a little light in there from a lower highlighter that I wanted to capture just a little light in her eyes, and I got that. But we're really going to bring that out using the Eye Brilliance plugin. All right, so let's start. Let's open the filter. We'll go to Retouch for me. First up, we're going to go into Heal. And once again, this is going to be one of these personalized things of where maybe you want to keep some of the moles or freckles. I've shot models that have amazing freckles that I definitely don't want to get rid of. So I'm going to go here, and you can see right away that it actually has detected some of the moles that were on her. I'll go to the original here so you can see, which is fine. In this case, I'm going to leave it. If I didn't, I would take the eraser here, and I know that that's a mole there. I know that that's a mole there, and those are just spots. So then I would press apply, and I will keep those moles just for the sake of it. So you can see we've got all the other little spots taken here except for those two moles, which is fantastic. So after that, and this is a low contrast image. This is very easy to get a low-key shot like this, getting too dark or too inky as I call it, and I want to avoid that. Staying on the same layer, I'm going to select out her eyes here, and we're going to go into the Eye Brilliance. Eye Brilliance is different than eye vessels. I'll show you in a moment. It should be very fast when you do a selection like that. And as you can see, the Eye Brilliance here will bring this right up. You can see where it's just pumping that light just into the bottom of the eyes there. And I do like that. I'm going to press apply. Next up, I want to take a look at some of dodging and burning, because when you have low-key light like this, you can see on the cheek here, on the nose, on the forehead, you're going to get little pockets under the eyes of shadows and things you might want to retouch using dodge and burn, which is what we're going to do next. Here we are, dodge and burn. I'm going to select the whole image this time, and this might take a little longer doing the whole image. And you have a selection here on the right. You'll see auto, close-up, medium, or full length. This I would consider a medium shot. But because it's so identifiable to the AI, I'm just going to leave it on auto, which, to be honest, guys, that's what I do most times. So, all right, that's going to bring us up to 100% here. And I'm going to take the blend up to 200 because I can see right away where it's touched. And I'll zoom in here for you guys to see. We'll go with the original after. You can see on her collarbone, it actually lessened that mole a little bit. And once again, I don't want that, so I'm just going to hit the eraser tool. And this isn't the software making mistake, guys. This is your personal preference as an artist. And you also have this warmth slider. And because this is a warm image, I'm going to pump a little bit of warmth in there so I don't lose that color. And you can immediately see right here. Remember when I showed you before on her cheek? I'll show you the original and after. Original and after. So that part there, and on her forehead, even though there's a shadow over her hair, it's not gotten rid of it. It's just smoothed it out a little bit. And that's at the full 200%. I might even warm this up a little more. That's perfect. I'm going to press apply. Once again, it's important to reiterate that this is a soft light image. You notice her hair is quite defined. I'm going to go in and do some sharpening there, but that's not what I wanted to show you here today. I want to show you kind of the plugins. One last thing I'm going to try here, and I'm going to press Command J to make another copy of this, is I'm going to use the infamous portrait volumes. This, as you guys know, if you've watched the channel, this is the 3D pop, guys. This is where it all comes in. I'm at 100%, and you can see right here, original, before, after. Look at that. It's just popping contrast just in the areas of her face, cheek, and down around her rib cage. I'm going to boost this up so it's going to look painterly. Don't hate me. I just want to show you how far you could take this In my opinion, that's too far when you see the original. It's now morphing and changing the shape of her face. I do like what it's doing to the shadows, but I'm going to do that later with a curve in maybe Luminar. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to press apply there. This is looking fantastic. I'm going to merge this down by pressing Command E. We've got our original here, before, after. I'll go before, after, before, after. Once again, guys, you know my motto here on the channel, less is more when it comes to retouching. Let's get a close-up. Before, after, before, after. Look at that pop in the eyes. Now, this is aside from Retouch for Me. I'm going to create a new layer here. I'm going to press B for my brush. I'm going to press X to select to white. I'm going to zoom right in on the eyes here, and I'm just going to do a small brush. You notice the light source is up here to the right, and I've got an highlighter to the left. I'm just going to put just a thin white line under there, and I'm going to do the same thing here. This looks like hell now, believe me, I know, but I'm going to go to blur. I'm going to do Gaussian blur. We're not stopping here. We're going to bring this Gaussian blur right down to about 9 or 10, right around there. And now we just change the blending mode to overlay, and watch this pop. Now you have magic eyes. It's too much, but it's always better to have it and not to use it than to need it not to have it. So let's back that down from 100% back down. Now look at the tones here, guys, with her hair coming out with her eyes. So before and after, before and after. When I go Command 0, I hope you can see this on YouTube. There's before, after. You just get that little catch of light in her eyes that just looks amazing. I wouldn't want to do that too much here in the white part of her eyes, but definitely that is fantastic. I'm going to press Command D and merge that down. My plan was to go into Luminar and use some of their detail stuff in here, but to be honest, I kind of like this. So all I'm going to do is go old school. We're going to take a sharpen tool. When was the last time you used this, guys? And going to make a bigger brush, and I'm going to do just at 50%. I'm just going to run this down here, holding the mouse down as I do it, so it's not resharpening. It's just doing it once, right around the edge of her hair like that. So that's fantastic. I'm really happy with that. And what I might even do is grab that sharpen tool. There's much better ways of sharpening eyes, guys, but just to show you here quickly how much that can pop out, I'm just going to grab that. I never do the whites of their eyes. You want to do maybe their eyelashes a little bit. You can do one pass right about the center of the brow. This eye isn't even focused that much, but I'm just going to do a pass here. And just look at the difference there, before, after, which is fantastic. I did say at the beginning of this, I'll go back to Command 0, I did want to do a curves adjustment. So I'm going to do a curves adjustment. Looking by the histogram, you can really see that there is no blacks there. So you might be tempted to go like this and put some blacks in there, which looks fantastic. But what I'm going to do first, before I do this, is I'm actually going to lift the black point even more. I know it sounds crazy, but when you're dealing with a low contrast image like this, you have to think it's not reality, it's surreality. So we're going to lift this point here up right here. Just going to push it a little bit. Now, as you can see, it's done a couple things. We've done our contrast pop. See, before, after, before, after. But do you notice by lifting that black how it it gave a look like I'm almost shooting through glass, right? Which I like. But once again, I do like the absolute blacks in there. So you're going to have to make a choice. One way that I navigate the situation is to double click, go into the layer style, click the underlying layer, and just drag it to the right a little bit. And you'll see that it's taking it away from the black areas. We can get that a little better by splitting this, by holding the Option key and sliding this to the right, just to get a little more. Now, this may seem counterintuitive, but there's the before and after, before and after. And you can do, I'll Command D, I'm going to merge that down. You can do anything that you do with levels in a curves adjustment, but just for fun today, I'm just going to pump up just that little pump on the highlight here, right there. And I'm watching her shoulder, the specular highlight on her shoulder. I don't want that to get too much or too saturated. So I'm going to drop the blending mode from normal down to luminosity. And you can see before, after, before it's after. It's actually washed her out a little bit. So I'm going to double click on that. I'm going to split this head in two by dragging this down, just knocking it down from the highlight. And there's luminosity, there's normal. I'm the first person to say when I'm wrong, guys, and sometimes I play with this stuff. I like it better in the normal mode than luminosity. There's normal, and this is luminosity. This looks a bit washed out to me. We've lost it. I like the way it's saturated a bit more. I was going to go at the end and take a hue saturation and pump some color into this like that, which I still might do. But now, of course, we're going to go into the color blending mode, as you've already guessed. We'll do that in color so we're not affecting anything else. I'll bring that down just a little bit. Perfect. And let me see if we can go to before and after. Before, after. What a difference in the eyes. I'll zoom in to show you once again. Here is before and after. There is more that I could do this stylistically and color-wise and vignetting, but this wraps up this one. Shift Option Command E to do a stamp visible layer, and we'll do one last comparison, guys. Before, after, before, after. If you enjoyed this video, please, I hate asking, but please like, comment, subscribe, and if you want to try out the Retouch4me plugins, the people at Retouch4me who don't pay me anything for this, but they've given me a wonderful discount code of Andrew Gerard 25. I'll leave a link to the page where you can try the plugin for free, and if you like it, you get 25%. All right, this is Andrew Gerard. I'll see you next time.